What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to the Cool Quay Show, where you feel cool and smooth. Welcome to the Cool Quay Show, brought to you by the Undisputed Real of MMA. I'm yours truly, Cool Quay fight fans. I hope all is well. I hope the weather is treating you well. I hope life is most definitely treating you well. But this is your boy, Cool Quay, and I'm come over here to talk about Fight Night. Fight Night, Cejudo. Cejudo. Used to be Cejudo, but it's Cejudo versus Sung Young, fight fans. The return of Cejudo, fight fans. Fight fans, this is all I'm going to say. I remember it was one point in time in Cejudo's career where Rich Ali came up with the nickname Cejudo. He used to call Cejudo because Cejudo used to go out there and perform, win fights. You know, won a fight against Demetrius Johnson in the rematch. You know, two-time champion in two different weight classes. Like, Cejudo was that guy. Background was Olympics, golden medals Olympics. You know, he represented that very, very well. That was his background. That's what got him into MMA. But fight fans, let me tell you something. Those days are over. The dog days are over. The dog days are over for Cejudo, fight fans. And you should know who I'm picking. I'm going to have to go with Sung Young. I got Sung Young done beating Cejudo by unanimous decision. 5 rounds this fight will be. That's why I got Sung Young picking him apart. I just feel like Sung Young just faster, but their footwork about the same. But with Cejudo being 30 years of age, I haven't really seen that footwork and that speed from him since 2020 when he retired, when he beat Dominic Cruz and retired. And he came back to fight Aljamain in a competitive fight. It was close, but still gave the edge to Aljamain in that fight. I haven't seen that dog, that same speed, in his hands, and what I'm saying, that explosiveness is Cejudo that we all knew. I don't see that in him, but I do see it in Sung Young. I got Sung Young winning. I'm gonna throw some money on him, and I got him winning all 5 rounds. Fight fans, on Fight Night. I gotta go when I see him getting the job done in Seattle. Fight fans. Cejudo would have the edge coming into this fight when it comes to the wrestling. He's Olympic. He should be able to out-hustle Sung Young in the grappling. But I don't see him doing that. Only because when is the last time you seen Cejudo shoot a takedown and hold somebody down? It's been a minute, fight fans. It's been a minute. And his last fights before he retired, those fights in my mind is still questionable. Was that an early stoppage when Cejudo fought Dominic Cruz? I think it was. He knocked, and that was short notice, that Dominic Cruz fight. He knocked Dominic Cruz down. Dominic Cruz popped right back up like a frog. He started to punch him again, and the referee stopped it. When Dominic Cruz was covering up, defending himself on his feet against the cage. Bad stoppage to me. Very, very questionable. When he beat Demetrius Johnson, well, my man Rich Ali always say, you think that was a robbery? You think Umar and Marab was a robbery? To beat a champ, you got to do what, fight fans? Beat the champ. Beat the champ. I can say Dominic Reyes beat John Jones all day long, but he had to beat him. And I say beat him, not by decision. Finish him, submit him, or knock him out, fight fans, or doctor stoppage. But never leave it up to the judges when you're facing a champ and it's a close fight. They're going to go with the champ every time, even if your name Bilal Muhammad. I had to throw that in there, a little joke in there, a little jokey joke in there. But yeah, fight fans. Yes. Cejudo just has not been looking the same. Like I said, the Demetrius Johnson fight, I feel like that was a robbery too. I feel like the Dominic Cruz fight was a bad stoppage. I feel like the TJ Dillashaw fight was a bad stoppage. I know that TJ moved down from bantamweight to flyweight in that fight. So he was kind of, draining his body. He cut a lot of weight to move down to 125. But I feel like that was a bad stoppage as well. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from Cejudo. I'm not trying to shit on him in this video. But all I'm trying to say is that Cejudo hasn't impressed me without his career. I know that's crazy because he's a 2-time champ, but he haven't impressed me. Like, you know how DC, Darren Cormier was a, 2-time champ too, but he got some names on the resume. Alexander Gustafsson, Anthony Rumble Johnson. He beat some good guys in DC. But when I look at Cejudo, it's questionable. Then he come back after the 2-year layoff. He fight Aljamain, lose. Merab did whatever he wanted to do with him. Picked him up. I'm looking at Merab thinking Merab is Olympic. The way he picking Cejudo up like a baby and slamming him on the ground, right on his anus.
Goes for the takedown and he gets it. Picks him up, carries him across the octagon. And here comes the slam.
Did what he wanted to do with him. Cejudo had one good moment where he scrambled up back up to his feet in the first round of that fight when he fought Merab, and then he caught him with a good punch. Remember, Merab is just like a Terminator, like I always say about Merab, and just did what he wanted to do with him. Out-grappled him, out-wrestled him, picked him up, slammed him. I don't know. My man, Ultra Dribble, always say, why did Cejudo even come back? Why did he come back? And he missed the love for it. It could be the money. It could be a lot of things. Or he might still have that drive to be a champ. But I feel like his days is behind him, fight fans. I really do. I think Sun Yung, a younger fighter. Now people say, oh, this is a big, test for Sun Yung. Yes, it's a big test, but at the same time, it's not. Because Sun Yung been in there with the elite fighters. He been there with the elite fighters. He been in there with Peter Yan in a tough fight. But Peter Yan had his moments on the feet. Sun Yung had his moments on the feet. It was a good fight.
You could tell in that corner of Piotr Yan, they don't like it. A little bit of desperation, like, hey, we got to get going. We can't.
He been in there with Peter Yan. He been in there with Corey Sandhagen in the 5-round fight. I know he was losing the fight, but he was hanging on. He was sticking with Corey Sandhagen. He was sticking with him. And let that cut not happen and that doctor stoppage not happen. Hey, we could be looking at a different, 4th and 5th round in that fight. Sun Yung looked good, stopping Ricky Simone in the last round in the 5-round fight. Stopping him. Great performance. So he been there with some high-level fighters. I just feel like the speed is on his side, like I mentioned. I feel like the cardio is on his side. I feel like the hunger to get back to that title fight, because this is a young man division. When you fight at 135, it's a young man's division. A lot of young talent, like Shannon Malice. You got the Figueiredo ain't the youngest guy, but he's been looking pretty good, moving up to bantamweight now. When Cejudo left and vacated 2 belts, the division just went along without him. And there's been a lot of good talent that has came to 125 and 125, but also 135, the weight class that he's fighting in. I think he just need to retire and meet Dominic Cruz at a bar. They have a beer and talk about the old days of their careers, fight fans. Because I feel like Cejudo is not going to get this one done. Yes, he can use his wrestling, but when is the last time we seen Cejudo take somebody down and hold them down? And when he do take them down these days, they get right back up. It's like he ain't got the strength to hold them down and put in some work on the ground. So I got to go with Sun Yadong in this fight, man. I love to see the old veteran Cejudo get it done. I'm not a big fan of Cejudo, but I love to see him, get it done against a young guy. But I cannot count on that fight, fans. I got to go with Sun Yung. Like I said, I don't think Cejudo got it no more. Big opportunity for him, and a big opportunity for Sun Yung to be, to be the opponent who's a former 2-time champion in the UFC. A former 2-time champion would be a big win on Sun Yung's resume. So that'd be good. So this is big for Sun Yung. It really is. Now what I can say, fight fans, is that it is hard to finish Cejudo. I be picking on Cejudo. I call him Jimmy Neutron, that big Jimmy Neutron head. That big Mexican Piado head he got. It is hard to finish him and Cejudo. That's one thing I noticed in him and Cejudo's career. It's hard to finish him. The only person who was able to really finish him devastatingly was Demetrius Johnson. But that's Demetrius Johnson, man, the GOAT. Other than that, it's hard to finish Cejudo. That's why I don't see Sun Young finish him. Because Cejudo, he's a tough SOB. But I see Sun Young beat him by decision, man. It's out hustling him. The age just goes show. Cejudo is 38 years old, knocking at 40. It's go show. Age does matter a lot in this sport of MMA. Shout out to Glover Teixeira for lasting that long in his 40s to be a champ. He had a hell of a career. Other than that, it is hard. It is hard to be fighting at 38, knocking at 40. And still compete with these young guys coming up and his due talent. It's hard. So I salute you, Cejudo. Good luck Saturday, man. Fight fans, I'm be watching the fight. I'm gonna do a fight recap video on the main event. And yeah, may the best man win, fight fans. But fight fans, I got some content coming, so tell a friend, A lot of fights been announced. A lot of fights been announced. Paddy Baddy versus Michael Chandler. Ilia Topuria vacating his 145 belt. Can't make the weight no more. He feel like he cemented what he needed, to do at 145. Beating two GOATs, arguably back to back. And then he moving up to 155. And he knocking at the door. He knocking at the Russian door. He knocking. He want Islam. A lot of fights got announced. They got Jack DeMolano versus Bilal Muhammad. I can't call him Bilal the Bomb Muhammad because he's a champ. I can't even say that no more. But yeah, Bilal Muhammad versus Jack DeMolano. I guess Shavkat still dealing with the injury, so he won't be able to fight Bilal Muhammad. But that fight is also booked in May. A lot of good fights. We got in London that Leon Edwards versus Sean Brady in March in London. Good fight. Good fights coming up. Good fights coming up, man. Really good fights. The fight fans, let me know who you got for the main event. Sun Yadong versus Cejudo. Too bad we can't call him Cejudo no more because he ain't doing squat. But let me know your predictions and breakdowns, how you got this fight going. Tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. To the pill. You wonder, Cool Quay.
Tune into the Cool Quay show.
That's right, baby. You heard Kale. They're going to tune in. He's going to be at your front door.